So we're going to talk about 4 signs that you may not have what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur or business owner. It's not pretty, but it's true. Welcome, my name is Shope, founder of Culture Rich World. I'm a recording artist and lover of all things creativity, culture, and business. Let's get into it. There's maybe never been a time in history where it was more fashionable or more trendy to quote unquote be an entrepreneur. And it's probably never been easier than it is today to start a business. And so because of that, a lot of people are naturally venturing into entrepreneurship. And that's great. It's awesome, in fact, which is why it feels so strange to make this video, because I will always advocate for starting your own thing, trying to chart your own course, being independent. I'll always advocate for ownership, because ultimately that's what entrepreneurship is. It's ownership of your time, of your earning potential, and in many ways, ownership of your life. That said, these principles of charting your own course and controlling your own destiny, as it would, are not only realized through entrepreneurship. Like, it is possible to have a job and still adhere to these values of freedom and autonomy to a degree. But sadly, there's a lot of people out here who are destroying their lives trying to be something that they're not. And then there are other people who are just trying to figure out, what do I have to do to be a successful entrepreneur? Well, I'm making this video to prepare and protect you should you decide that you want to go down this path of starting your own business. Prepare you for the path ahead and protect you from those people who would want to take advantage of you. But why should you listen to me? Who am I? Well, I've been doing this entrepreneurship thing for about 9 years at this point, and I've done pretty well for myself. So with all that said, here are 4 signs that maybe you should not start a business if you're thinking about it. Number 1, you want quick cash. Do not start a business if you're looking for quick cash, okay? Don't let any fake guru out there tell you otherwise. My God, this platform is full of so many fake gurus who are going to say things like this to you. Best side hustles to start in 2023, that you only have to work like 30 minutes a month and you're going to make $1 million a month. I'm telling you this, there's no such thing as an easy business. None. No matter what it is, any and everything requires a measure of proficiency and intensity. So even the simplest side hustles that you can think of, you may maybe make some money to start off with, but if you really want to make a good and sustainable income, you will have to go beyond the beginner level to more advanced level. All right. And it's basic supply and demand. The greater the supply of something, the lower the demand. And the easier it is to do something or to make something, the more of that thing will be available because more people are doing it, thereby driving down the demand of that thing. That's why every single business on planet Earth requires hard work, skill, and dedication to grow. So for example, before starting Culture Rich World, I thought as long as I make good clothes with good designs, people are going to buy it, right? Wrong. It's turned out to be a lot harder than I thought it would be, and I've learned a lot along the way. So for instance, I learned the pros and cons of having a small versus a large product line. I also didn't know the difference between using the pre-order model versus the inventory model when launching a product, something I had to learn. Well, how about learning how to properly manage cash flow for a physical goods business? I didn't know about that before. Or what about learning real digital marketing, like email marketing, digital ads, and things of that nature? Or what about learning just basic human psychology and customer buying habits? Like, I learned very quickly that just because something looks good, and even just because people like it, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to buy it. Coming from a music industry background where the music is pretty much free to consume, I had to learn what it takes to get people to actually spend their money, especially on physical products. And then there was learning the difference between personal branding versus company branding, and so on and so forth. The point is this: every single business that you can think to start has hard work in it, okay? And don't let anybody fool you into thinking otherwise. Alex Hormozi says this: people radically underestimate how much effort is required to achieve above average results. This is what that means. That means this: there's a baseline level of performance and execution that everybody has to live up to in order to achieve average results, right? But to outperform the average, a lot of us think it only requires marginally more work, when in reality, it actually takes exponentially larger amounts of work to rise above the status quo, which is why only a few people ever rise above that level, right? Whenever somebody tells me they're starting a business, and this happens like pretty frequently, I almost always say to them, it's probably going to take longer than you think it's going to take, and it's probably going to be harder than you think it's going to be. So be prepared and go, right? And that's because success rests on this foundational biblical principle that says, he or she who does not work shall not eat. There's no such thing as an easy business. There's no such thing as a quick cash business. So number one, do not start a business if you're looking for quick cash.